20 lost slow cooker casseroles from the 1980s. We never should have forgotten the decade that almost killed the slow cooker. In the 1980s, the machine that fed an entire generation of Canadian families almost disappeared completely. Shiny new box had shown up in kitchens, promising dinner in minutes instead of hours, and sales of the slow cooker dropped for the first time since it launched. The slow cooker didn't win that fight by cooking faster. It won by hiding inside something the microwave could never replicate: the casserole. 20 of those casseroles kept showing up on tables through the entire decade. A few of them, nobody can even explain where the name came from. Why the underdog survived. By the early 1980s, roughly 40 different companies were making some version of the slow cooker, and then the microwave oven arrived in millions of homes almost overnight. Microwave spending in the average household jumped by 50% in just a few years. For anyone in a hurry, it looked like the slow cooker's moment was over. But casseroles didn't need speed. They needed something that could sit on low all afternoon and still be ready the moment everyone walked in the door. And the slow cooker did that better than any microwave ever could. So, instead of disappearing, the same pot that used to hold pot roast and stew started holding something entirely different. Casseroles, 1 through 4, the ones from the church cookbook. Chicken divan, layered chunks of chicken over broccoli, blanketed in a curried cream sauce and a heavy sprinkle of cheddar. It showed up at more 1980s potlucks than almost anything else on this list. Tuna noodle casserole had a surprising origin. The same Campbell's Soup employee who created 2 other dishes on tonight's list also developed this one, built around egg noodles, canned tuna, and cream of mushroom soup, topped with crushed potato chips or breadcrumbs. Wild rice and mushroom casserole gave a dinner table something that felt a little fancier, built from a box of long grain and wild rice blend, canned mushroom soup, and slivered almonds scattered across the top. And broccoli rice cheese casserole combined chopped broccoli, instant rice, and a block of processed cheese into a dish so reliable that it became the default side at nearly every Canadian holiday table for a decade. The next casserole on this list has a name that has nothing to do with what's actually in it. Casseroles, 5 through 8, the ones with strange names. Hash brown casserole, sometimes whispered about as funeral potatoes in households with Mormon or Midwestern roots. Mixed shredded hash browns with sour cream, cheese, and a crunchy topping of crushed cornflakes. Reuben casserole took an entire deli sandwich apart and rebuilt it in a dish. Corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, and a scattering of rye bread cubes on top, meant to taste like a sandwich without anyone having to build one by hand. Taco casserole layered seasoned ground beef, crushed tortilla chips, and melted cheese, and became the dish that finally convinced cautious Canadian households to try something with a little spice in it. And King Ranch chicken casserole, named after one of the largest ranches in Texas, has an origin nobody has ever actually confirmed. The ranch itself has no record of inventing it, no cook has ever taken credit, and yet the layered chicken, tortilla, and cheese casserole spread across the country anyway. The next dish is the one with a story almost nobody knows, and it connects directly back to the tuna casserole from a few minutes ago. Casseroles, 9 through 12, the ones with a real paper trail. Chicken and stuffing casserole took the best part of a holiday dinner, the stuffing, and made it available on any Tuesday, layered under chicken breast and a can of condensed soup. Green bean casserole is the dish that connects back to the tuna noodle recipe. Both were created by the same Campbell's Soup employee, a home economist working out of a New Jersey test kitchen in the 1950s.
Took our green bean casserole out of the oven and look how scrumptious and delicious that is.
By the 1980s, it wasn't just a Thanksgiving dish anymore. It showed up at ordinary Sunday dinners too. Chow mein noodle casserole combined ground beef, celery, and a can of cream of mushroom soup, finished with a crunchy layer of canned chow mein noodles instead of anything resembling breadcrumbs. And baked spaghetti casserole folded cooked spaghetti into a cottage cheese and tomato sauce mixture, baked until the edges turned crisp, giving pasta night a texture nobody expected. There's a breakfast version of this list coming up, and it's the one dish parents could make the night before and forget about until morning. Casseroles, 13 through 16, the ones built for mornings and guests. Sausage and egg breakfast casserole let a host assemble the entire dish the night before a family gathering, leave it in the fridge, and cook it low and slow while everyone was still getting dressed for the day. Broccoli cornbread casserole blended cornbread mix, eggs, and chopped broccoli into something between a side dish and a bread, dense enough to hold its shape when sliced. Enchilada casserole stacked corn tortillas, ground beef or chicken, and canned enchilada sauce in flat layers instead of individually rolled tortillas, cutting the prep time in half. And pizza casserole combined egg noodles, tomato sauce, pepperoni, and mozzarella into a dish that convinced an entire generation of kids that casserole night could actually be exciting. 4 casseroles left, and the last one on this list isn't even a main course. Casseroles, 17 through 20. How the list ends. Chicken tetrazzini combined shredded chicken, spaghetti, and a sherry-tinged cream sauce, topped with Parmesan and baked or slow-cooked until the top turned golden. Zucchini casserole existed because of one simple problem. Home gardens in the 1980s produced more zucchini every August than any family could reasonably eat, and a casserole of shredded zucchini, cheese, and cracker crumbs was one of the few solutions that actually worked. Sweet potato casserole, topped with a thick layer of marshmallows browned until they turned golden brown, blurred the line between side dish and dessert on more than one holiday table. And the 20th casserole on this list crossed that line completely. Scalloped pineapple casserole combined canned pineapple, sugar, and cubed bread with melted butter, baked until it turned custardy, and served alongside ham as if it were an ordinary vegetable dish. What's left behind? 20 casseroles, one appliance that almost got pushed out by a machine that promised to be faster. Most of these recipes exist now only as photocopies, handed down inside plastic recipe boxes that haven't been opened in years. Somewhere in a basement or a back cupboard, one of those boxes is still sitting there, and whoever opens it next won't have any idea what they've actually found.